2 minutes until showtime. One minute until showtime. Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Hold on, we gotta let this joint rock out real quick. This slap right here. Huh?
Smack it, flip it.
Man, if I could sing, oh my God, I would rip this track. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Randy Choo, aka Mr. Choo-On-That. And you know how we do every Monday night when we are in the building. I just want to let everyone know that tonight I'm going to put a disclaimer out. If you are triggered by tonight's episode, I have a solution for you.
Uh-oh.
You can drive to your nearest Walmart. You can walk past the registers and the fake restaurants they have on the left or the right. Go past the clothes, make a right, go past electronics. There's a section called sporting goods.
Go ahead.
They sell rifles and shotguns and ammunition and bow and arrows and knives.
But what are you going to do with this stuff?
I just want you to take whatever you need to take.
Take what you got to take.
Cock that drink back. Okay. Anyway, and I'm here. Listen, I'm not doing the books and business tonight. Wait, I do want to say this. My big bro, Zoe Williams, definitely has been mailing out the Shrouded Lighthouse books that he just wrote. TheShroudedLighthouse.com. He talks about something in his book. This is his 4th book, but his 3rd book in the relationship series. If you don't know Zoe Williams, Google him. He's been a legend since the 80s. I respect him. He's the reason why I do radio. He started me out on my own show in 2013. Listen, this is what I want to do. He has something in his Shrouded Lighthouse book called a situation shift. And I want you to hear him explain what that is.
You've heard of the term situation shift. I've taken it and made it something different. The situation shifts that we find ourselves in have the power to cause us to shift our perspective, either for good or for bad. When we shift for good, we've taken accountability of what we've been through, how we've been hurt, unhealed trauma. That causes us to shift in consciousness. So situation shifts can be very beneficial, right? If you're learning. Most people do not enter a relationship to find out what's wrong with themselves. Most people are looking for relationships to bring ease and peace, but that is only half of the coin. You're a co-creator of this relationship experience you're currently in, and that's why a situation shift has a silver lining.
That's what I'm talking about. That's my big bro, Zoe Williams. Listen, we have a full panel tonight. Oh my gosh. I'm going to introduce the panel, and then what I'm going to do is I am going to allow Mr. Grantastic to do chew or choke, sorry. And then we're going to dive straight into the topic. So without further ado, let me introduce the panel I have. To the right of me, you already know who it is.
Everybody, you know what time it is. It's your boy, Mr. Grantastic, a.k.a. The Professor, a.k.a. Negro Suave, a.k.a. Can You Chew Woo Woo? In Season 2. Can You Chew Woo Woo? In Season 2. Pack of Wolves. All right, cool.
Okay, so, and then to the left of me, I have the lovely Miss Parker. Say hi to the people, Miss Parker.
Hey, Miss Parker.
Hi, people. How are you doing tonight?
Hi, Miss Parker.
Hi, Miss Parker.
You gonna let me? Okay.
Oh
and then
my God.
We have. No, that's my sis for real though. I appreciate her. Our businesses intertwine from time to time on the change the world one nigga at a time side of the game.
Bruh.
I have my other sister with me. Yo, let me tell you about this sister right here. If you ever want to hear a woman tell you about how relationships really work, y'all need to follow her on Instagram at Conquering Relationships. This sister is the fact that our names rhyme,
Bruh.
and the fact that we have the same, what I would call standards. I have a lot of respect for this woman. Brandy Yates is in the building. Say hi to the people, Brandy.
Hey, hey, hey.
And I have my brother from another mother. I have the man who helped me relaunch Chew Radio's platform on Instagram. I have Mr. Choose Violence himself, the Sloth King himself. JB is in the building. Woo! JB, talk to the people. Say what's good.
What's going on, good people? How's everyone?
Listen, he put a disclaimer out this week. He said he is not liable or responsible for anything he says tonight on Chew Radio. He's choosing violence. So if you want to call in and debate anybody on the panel or bring up your stories or say anything, the number to dial is 516-531-9828. 516-531-9828. Listen, I got the sound effects ready.
Please subscribe to Chew Radio on all platforms.
Oh, yeah. Good looking out.
ChewRadio.net, everyone.
See, this is why you
see
my
all the
right
episodes,
hand right here.
you
This
know,
man got
Chew
it
Radio.
down pat, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I got the sound effects ready. I got the panel ready.
Yo,
But before we get into tonight's discussion, share the video, like the video, subscribe. Man, listen, we want y'all input on tonight's discussion. Unless y'all are scared. If you're scared of the truth, you might not want to like this video. But if you feel like you have 10 toes to stand on, challenge the panel.
10 toes down.
What if you only got 9?
I like.
9 toes down.
Can I say something?
Go
They
ahead,
set-
go
they
ahead.
set
My
you
bad,
up.
look, I'm like, do I say something?
No, go
So I
ahead.
like how you started it with the triggers in Walmart or going to the store. I like how you said he's Mr. Violence. I post more on Facebook than I do on Instagram, but I'm always posting like my questions, everything that I post. I always tell people I'm not responsible for your trigger. You are. So if you can't handle it, exactly what you said. If you can't handle it, don't be on social media today. Unfollow, whatever you need to do for the moment. But I'm not responsible for your trigger. You are.
Oh, yeah.
Get hot.
Hey, it's about to get hot already. See, that's why that's my sister right there. That's why.
Get hot. Oh, we fanning over there.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Okay, so Grandtastic, listen. Grandtastic is about to do chew or choke.
So,
And we're gonna
So
panel's gonna comment.
Get ready,
on all
panel.
that.
Get your chew, get your choke. If you got a little index card, that's fine. Get your little chew.
Grandtastic, take it away.
Get your chew, get your choke ready. All right, or you can just holler at us. All right, everybody, you already know what time it is. It's time for Chew or Choke, where we give you topics and you let us know how you really feel. Here's how the whole thing. Am I frozen?
Stop the cap.
This is how the cookie crumbles. Okay, we had a little thing. All right, so we give you topics, some statements, some BS from the week, and you let us know how you feel. If you agree, you're going to hit us up with that chew. If you disagree, you hate it, you think it's some hot garbage, you're going to say choke on that. Now, you can like it, you can love it, but one damn thing for sure you're going to do. You're going to choke on these topics. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get started. All right, see, we had to do the extra special for the sloth. Extra special for the sloth. All right, I'm showing off tonight. All right. Anyways, so at Cat Named Jedi, there's been some talk going around about communication from men to women to women to men. We have one statement on there that kind of stood out. So we're going to read the statement from this individual and let us know if you agree, you think it's some hot garbage or not. All right, let's go ahead. At Cat Named Jedi, some women want us, meaning men, to create a safe space for them, create a safe space of conversation that they can control. And then we need to exemplify women's definition of communication, or else it's considered that men cannot communicate. So again, I say unto thee, there's women, his statement is women generally want a safe space for communication. However, men should kind of take their definition and exemplify it so that it's not considered that men can't communicate. So what do you think? So do you think that this definition needs to kind of be exemplified, or should it already be assumed that men can communicate? So if you think that, men can communicate and women and men can communicate in a safe space, you hit the chew, that's fine. If you think they cannot, hit us with a choke. So men are creating a safe space, but yet men are going to have to kind of do a little bit here and there to help the communication.
Taking words out.
I know. We have to make this thing simple. It was a long statement. So how you
Say
feel?
it again.
Okay. So some women want men to create a safe space that they can control, as in the conversation space.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, let's just stop it right there on that one. Maybe that'll help right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
That's what I was saying earlier. Okay, so women want men to create a safe space in the conversation realm in order for women to control the conversation in that realm. So do you agree or disagree with that particular part? We'll stick with that part of his statement.
Wow. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to Brandy, JB, then we're gonna go to Tiana, me, back to Grandtastic.
Sounds good.
Talk to us, Brandy. You chew?
It's kind of it's kind of confusing the way you said to me. But I'm gonna go with you. So you're saying women want men to create the safe space, right? Is that what you're saying?
But when the safe space is created, they only want men to create the safe space so that they can control it. Not really for dialogue going back and forth. They just want the safe space to just for women to control it.
Definitely true.
She's choosing violence early. JB.
Oh, that's easy. That's the easy chew.
That's an easy chew.
T.
No hesitation.
No hesitation, Miss Parker.
So wait a minute. See.
So the statement is this.
So, I know the statement. So are they saying they agree?
Yes.
Like that's true or false, or they agree with?
They just they agree with the statement. Not to necessarily it's true or false, but they agree with the statement.
Yeah, I agree. Women's creating the BS. Respectfully.
Okay.
No, don't let them. No, you choose. Don't let nobody make you choose.
Yes, you choose.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go like this.
It's okay. You can do. Yeah, we have times right there. You can go ahead.
Hey,
do
your
but you
thing.
gotta elaborate. If
Do
you
your
if you
thing.
go chew choke, you gotta elaborate.
Nothing should
I mean,
be
I
taken
agree.
personally.
I do agree.
Okay.
Welcome to the team.
You already gotten drawn.
Listen.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to chew on that because if women, I feel like, especially for tonight's topic, if women cannot dictate how a conversation goes, then they feel like the conversation is irrelevant. Anyway, go ahead, Grandtastic. I'm gonna save that for later because I got some ammunition but I'm not trying to shoot tonight. I want the panel to shoot tonight.
Shoot, man.
Okay, I'm definitely going to chew on that as well. The safe space to communicate should go both ways. But like you said, the term that men can't communicate goes around a lot, but then also everyone doesn't know how to communicate with men. So we're just going to leave that.
Wow.
Right there.
Wait. Oh, what'd you just say?
I said it's the statement that men can't communicate gets flown around a lot. But
Okay.
There's not a lot of people who actually try to figure out how to communicate with men.
Oh my God.
Bars.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, let's go to our next. Let's go to our next one. Okay.
Ahead.
All right. So at Caesar Emmanuel, this all right, because this had to go with our little poster there. So this kind of came out today. So Caesar,
Stop the cap.
from what is he from? Black Ink. There it is. Says, I want a wife, but not the kind Will Smith got. Take your time.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Again, I say unto thee.
Say unto thee.
I want a wife, but not the kind Will Smith got. Take your time, God.
Oh my God. Brandy, Miss Parker. I'm sorry, Miss Parker. And then me, go ahead.
I like Jada.
Do you agree with that statement or disagree?
You know what? I don't agree or disagree. I don't know. Should I keep it at that or explain a little bit?
No, explain that thing, girl.
I'll get to the shits.
Okay. So I did not tune into the last situation that happened, but the one previous to that, I did tune into that, and I did not get the perspective that everybody got about what she was saying.
Okay.
And so I do think they took it out of context, and that's just from me looking at it myself. But I think people don't realize the type of person that she is, like the show that she has. So
Okay.
anything that she says that's on display, people are going to automatically relevate it to her and Will. Even if she doesn't say me and my husband, they're going to relevate what she says to her and Will, and they're going to pick at it anyway. So I'm in the middle on that one.
Okay, she's in the middle. She's in between chewing and choking. J-
On these topics.
JB.
Yeah, that's another easy one. No hesitation, straight chew. I want nothing to do with Jada. The fact that Will Smith literally just came out and said he tried to kill himself says it all.
Oh my God. Violence.
I don't follow them enough to know too much detail, so I gotta be in the middle.
But again, it's a little clip. So
he came out on the dock. He said it himself.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
You didn't see the doc?
So why he just don't leave?
But no.
It works for my narrative.
Go ahead. Y'all
I
can.
didn't see it.
I'm sorry, what happened?
I didn't see it, so I don't really have much to input except for the very first situation. I don't really do the celeb thing, so when I saw something else coming up, I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna get involved.
My question is, what kind of woman is Jada? In, I guess, JB's opinion, to the point where you like, nah, I don't want that.
Yeah, that's a
Who
red
is
flag.
she?
She's a walking red flag. I'm good.
Everything what's the red flag?
Everything she touches toxic. Like I'm just good.
But her families are icons, though. Like they built a legacy within that family, despite what they got going on.
So how you feel? Chew or choke on that? So continue, but just let.
I feel like you don't know the story, so it's a choke. Everybody's going off what they think they know, but nobody's in anybody's conversations, agreements, anything. You don't know what this is. Advertisement. You know, there's no such thing as bad advertisement. It could be good, it could be bad. People put shit on all the time. They've been together for 22 years. She's speaking her truth. Let her speak her truth. If you've watched her documentary between her and her husband, they explain the kind of relationship that they have had for years. Now it's her time. It's her time to say whatever the fuck she had to say that had her fucking crying for 47 days while her husband don't even understand what the fuck she want or need. You know, they have to learn each other. So now she coming out to be the person that she is. But if you can't take it, then go somewhere.
Well, maybe she needed a secure, safe space. Okay? Maybe that's what it was.
We already.
The red top table is her safe space.
That is her safe space.
It's also her
it's her platform, and she's helping other women to identify with her.
No, so to be clear, I respect what Jada is doing. I just would never want her as a wife.
Why?
Because again, it could be two. That's two things that can easily be true. Again, the whole situation with August. That was just nasty. The whole situation with Tupac, like the list goes on and on. There's to your point. Hold on, just one second. But hold on to your point. Like I'm not there. I don't know what's going on. So I grant that. But to me, once you get all of these different stories and it's multiple stories, it's not just one story that comes out the blue, but it's multiple stories. So that tells me I am good. I'm going to pass. I don't need my business out there. And messing with her, my business is going to be out there. So I'm saying I'm good. I am going to respectfully pass on that.
Okay, so what happened between her and Tupac that her husband don't know?
Again, I don't know how long this show is, and I don't want to be here all day.
No, yo.
No, what is? Good. I mean, if you're speaking on it, then you have to know something.
What I am answering the question, and the question is, would I want a wife like Jada? And the answer is no. And let's keep it real simple. And again, it has a lot to do.
You know. I'm just trying to ask you to elaborate.
I understand. But this is like, you know, similar to Brandy, not really into the whole celebrity gossip. So we can move on to a much more interesting topic. That's all. Miss Parker, be nice.
Hey,
I am being nice. I'm just
this is why I don't get involved, because I like to sit back and watch, but I don't like running my blood pressure about other people's scenarios. So
agreed.
I just don't get involved with celebrity issues.
Absolutely.
But if we're gonna bring up the topic and you're gonna have an answer,
I should have used the last one.
then you have to know something, because people aren't that different. All the scenarios that people are going through, or Jada is going through, somebody else is going through something similar. So there has to be some type of, explanation to why you said what you said. And all I'm doing is asking, why, and that's it. And it's not, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just really trying to understand. That's all.
Listen, I respect that.
Okay.
Mr. Randy Choo, how you feel?
Yo, listen. Anything that goes on between me and my wife, dog, that's private information. The world should not know what the hell goes on in my household, because how can I call you my wife if you don't even have the space to allow me to evolve as a man with what I'm dealing with or growing with, or what the hell you're dealing with and growing with? Because it's my responsibility as the husband to cover your F-ups. So I have to protect your public image. That's a part of my responsibility. Mm-hmm. So we can have a brand, but is the brand more important than who you are?
Well, I think
to the public.
I think the debate, it really is like, I think people think that the red table talk is something that's like they both haven't agreed on.
But see, my thing is this. Obviously, Will had to agree for them to have a red table talk. Mm-hmm. So according to Will Smith, how can I as a man tell that nigga how to run his household? I personally just wouldn't run my household like that.
That's true.
I'm let that one go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's how Will Smith want to run his household, then cool. Go ahead, Brandy.
So can I ask, because I really do not tune in, so I don't have much to say on it.
You just like me, Brandy. I don't know.
Yeah. So
Grandtastic is my plug to the outside world.
Yeah. But does she just speak in general on relationship issues and topics, or do she
Jada
really
Pinkett wants
them to?
Actually, for real, if we could be for real.
Can we be real? She wants Streetwood.
But like this last little like explosion.
She belongs to the street.
I know who's gonna push that button. Anyways, this last explosion actually was someone took a microsecond and made it a topic
out of the whole conversation. Yeah, they did.
Because I watched it twice, and she didn't say anything about the difficulties of the sex in her marriage.
That's what I think.
No,
hold on. So we're gonna act like
that was the only thing that she said that alluded to that.
She slept with her son's homie, though.
No, we're not talking about that one. I'm talking about this last explosion. That what everyone said that.
I mean, Augustine was her last explosion.
No, this past episode that is on. That's on the slide. That's on the slide, nigga. Episode.
Okay.
That everyone's saying like, oh, like Jada put in the streets that Will's like he's not smashing, he ain't hitting it right. She said nothing like that. All she said, it was just like, it was just like in 22 years of marriage, it's like, yeah, sometimes things are difficult. That's everyone with 22 years of marriage.
That's a very accurate statement.
Yes, that's an accurate statement.
It's difficult for Jada Pinkett because she wants Streetwood.
Oh Lord!
But I think another thing,
because of her discretions, anything she say from this point forward, everybody's going to judge her, and everybody's going to misinterpret what she puts out. And I think a lot of people
because of the entanglement.
Yes, because the entanglement. But also at the same time now. Damn buttons. Okay. Anyways, but I think also at the same time. All right, so now the question is this. Here's the question of this. So I heard everyone and their opinions and stuff, right? However, is this. So like you said, their family is iconic. The daughter is a rock star. Son did his thing. He's the
son is bisexual. Yeah, go ahead.
There's people who have bisexual kids that are broke.
I mean, we ain't talking about money though.
But that's also part of it though. Because y'all out here with these same kind of women like Jada, and they broke and taking your money. We can go to the next topic if y'all ready.
Is there a sound bite for that?
Y'all out here with Jada's. And
hey, yo, who's this y'all? Who's this y'all do you speak of? Who's y'all?
Look, most of everybody that judged her situation.
No, for real. There's a lot of people with pro Jada's.
Not you.
Hey, Brandy, and Miss Parker, beautiful women on the panel.
Hey.
If you had a husband like a Will Smith, would you be saying the same things that Jada says in the public?
No, I'm not interested in Will Smith's character or personality, so I probably wouldn't have a husband like him.
If you had a man that was making that kind of money and was taking care of you and loved you and
where's the stop
wanted,
the button?
And wanted to protect you.
It's 2. Okay, go ahead. Y'all, I'm ready.
And did all the things. I'm not talking about his personality. I'm talking about him being a man that is a leader in his home. If you had a guy like that, would you air your private business in public?
So the thing with that is every woman looks for a certain leadership in her man. So if money does not move me, I can't look at his money and feel like he's a leader that I would want to marry. So I look at personality and I look at character.
I agree with that point. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know anything extra of him to say, yes, he's this great leader and Jada shouldn't be doing XYZ. I don't know enough about him to even know what type of leader he is in his home.
Okay, Miss Parker.
Well said.
All I'm gonna say is
10-9-8 on that one.
No, I agree with her, but I was also gonna say that a while ago, Will said, "Does it look like I care what anybody thinks?" So if you're gonna say something like that, and I have watched the table talk, I have watched how their relationship has emerged together with understandings, because at one point, what did they have? They had an open marriage. They probably still do. And I do recall that at the end of the whole August thing, he was like, "I'm gonna get you back right."
Yeah.
And she's like, "You already have, like." You already have. Yeah. We don't know what's going on.
Will hasn't tapped nothing either, though.
Exactly. So
Will probably tapped more than she did.
I don't think that she's the type of woman to disrespect her man and her family and her legacy. I do think that she has had conversations with Will. And I do think that they've been working on their relationship and who they are as individuals for a long time.
Yeah.
I think
that that's important, for them. How they want to be in their life as human beings on this damn earth. So
I got one more for you.
I think Will Smith is about to drive to his nearest Walmart. Go ahead, Grant.
Oh my gosh.
We'll see if he cares about what people think. We'll see.
All right, so we got one more. Hey, can we go to the next one, y'all? Panel, we good?
JB, what's up?
No, I'm listening. I'm here.
Okay. All right, so at Black Hustler Club. All right, here we go, y'all. If she lacking in something and you F with her heavy, you should teach her. Again, I say unto thee, this is at Black Hustler Club. If she's lacking, I don't know, let's imagine how I thought they were saying. If she's lacking in something and you F with her heavy, you should teach her.
I'm going to go first, Miss Parker, Brandy, then JB. I chew on that. I feel like the man, part of the responsibility of the man is to groom and teach his woman in anything that she's lacking in, because you don't want a partner that's lacking in anything that you have the ability to change or help her evolve in. I feel like if we take it to the scriptures, I believe in the scriptures. I'm a Christian, but I don't follow the religion of Christianity. Whole different story. But anyway, that's two different things, by the way. Just wanted to throw that out there. And
I agree. Me too.
Yeah, I was ready to say, anyone that wanted to debate me on that, please feel free, because I would light you up. I taught world religions in a lot of colleges, and you would get your book. I would take your book and eat you with it. Anyway, I feel like a man's responsibility is to groom and cleanse his woman to present her unto himself as a chaste woman. So right. If a woman is lacking in something and she has your last name, it's your responsibility to make sure that lack no longer is there, because your leadership is only strong as your weakest link. And if the weakest thing in your woman opens your household to vulnerabilities, it's your responsibility to make sure that those doors are closed. I chew on that. Miss Parker, Brandy, then JB.
Oh, I got to talk now?
Yeah, you got to talk.
Oh, let's do it.
Let's let's see.
Another 1098.
Just say you agree with me. You feel me?
No, I totally agree with you.
Okay.
I don't have nobody's last name other than my father's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Facts.
And I totally agree with if
I have to shoot the nigga. But go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead. Anyway, keep talking.
When I look I'm out here in I'm not gonna say in these streets. I'm not in these streets.
Not in these streets.
I am.
Not in these streets.
She's out here. Not in these streets. Okay.
Stop the cap.
Out here in these sidewalks.
I'm out here in these sidewalks.
Okay, there it is. There it is.
Walking carefully and paying attention to
looking both ways.
Looking both ways. But when I am looking, that is what I'm looking for. Because I know that is when I'm at my best. When I can be vulnerable, when somebody can see me. Actually see me and be like, not see me and then use that shit for that best interest or whatever to make them feel better because they just on some other shit.
Right.
But to see me and be like, yes, I see the good in her. I see what's wrong. I'm going to assist with that, and then together we're gonna be.
Oh man,
we're gonna be the shit.
Yeah.
Like I really appreciate that, so I definitely chew with that.
Miss Yates.
Yeah, go
talk to us, Brandy.
Go Brandy first.
Gang.
It's just simple. It's just simple. It's a chew.
It's a chew?
It's a chew.
Huh.
Okay.
The sloth.
Oh, the sloth. Talk to us.
Yeah, see, I'm going to have to dislike this. Just for the record, I'm not choking on anything, so I'm just going to say I dislike. I make that very clear. As someone from New York,
you didn't hear the song "Choke on These Topics"?
I'm just letting you know that I dislike that particular statement.
I need some.
And this is the reason. This is the reason why a lot of men date younger women because of that statement, right? It's because you want to get them while they're young and then you want to mold them. I'm not in the business of molding people. Listen, if they don't got it by a certain age, I'm not teaching them. I'm gonna go find someone else that has that. That's me. See, and you said something really interesting, right? Because it comes down to when you feel that this person is ready to be your significant other, and that's really important, right? And I think once they get to that point and they are your significant other, then I agree with you, Randy. Yes, there's certain things that we all can learn from each other, and you can help build. That part I agree. But in terms of getting to that point, I'm weeding them and I'm kicking them the hell out. I'm not training you. I'm not teaching you shit. Listen, you're out of here. On to the next one.
Good point, though.
Is it?
No, it's like because also
he didn't say everybody you meet or talk to. He said a person you really, really rock with, though.
like you f with heavy.
Yeah, that you fuck with.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what? So
On
if
to
you,
the next
if you fuck
person.
with someone heavy, is it?
On to the next question.
No, not on to the next question. On to the next person. Just because they're my peoples, listen, we all grow. And there's going to be people that climb with you as you go through your journey, but they're going to stop. Okay, that's your village. My village is by myself.
Exactly.
I'm good with
by
that.
yourself. That's
I'm good with that. All right, because I don't need people tugging on Superman's cape. I'm good.
Okay, well,
that is my respectful opinion.
I think if you at that point, you don't rock with her like that.
No, you don't. You can't possibly. You can't possibly rock
JB,
with
hold
somebody.
it down, JB. I'm not gonna cut y'all off. Keep going.
You can't possibly rock with somebody like that because if you want somebody to be like that with you, they're gonna just say on to the next. Oh well, fuck it. If I fuck with you, oh well.
Well,
You,
again,
what you missing the tooth and we can't go find the tooth and you don't want to go get that shit fixed. Oh well, I need the shit to be fixed. Next, on to the next. Like that's just so that's just wrong. Human beings and human beings. We are here to grow. Everybody, we don't come out the womb knowing everything. We don't come out the womb knowing everything. Everything that we know is from our experiences from people, men and or women, and everybody that taught you what you know, fuck with you. And everybody who don't ain't there. So I don't get that. If somebody fucks with you, why would you tell them on to the next? Then maybe they shouldn't fuck with you.
But again, this is just going back to that statement. So if someone is lacking a characteristic, right? This person could be a wonderful person, right? Such a so good to you, right? But behind your back, you don't know. It could be some Gruden type situation, and he's over here making fun of homosexuals and all this other stuff. Then what? Then what? Right? You have a stupid face because I could have swore that this was a wonderful person, and you know what? They were just doing shit behind the scenes, which a lot of people do. So again, I understand and I respect your opinion, but I absolutely disagree with it. Right? People are going to evolve. That doesn't mean that the people that you grow with is going to be around and stay with you. Matter of fact, I'll tell you personally, like I've grown up with a lot of people in my neighborhood. I look at them sideways now as I continue with my evolution. And I would think that, again, you would see that as well. I'm pretty sure that there's been people that helped you tremendously throughout your life journey, but you don't fuck with anymore. And you had to leave them behind.
Are we talking about relationships or just general people?
Well, I
I
personally
thought we
both.
talking about relationship.
I thought we were talking about relationships, like somebody
I mean,
trying to do life with.
But again, see, and that's I'm glad. Let's just bring it back to relationships, right? And that was my earlier point. To get to that point before you enter that relationship and take it to the significant other, I'm weeding them out. That's my point to you guys.
So is it lacking in a characteristic or like lacking like maybe knowledge?
Well,
Because so JB said a characteristic, but also it could be taken like, you know, financially you know how to manage your money that well. Is it different when it's like a skill or is it different for like a characteristic? I'm putting out there to the panel.
That's a good question.
Go ahead.
That changes things.
Whoever want to talk.
Oh, now it changes things.
It does.
Because that's one thing you brought up, JB, was a characteristic. And I was like, okay, I hear you. But is the difference between a characteristic and then like a skill?
Yeah.
Black hoodie on for this episode.
Yeah, like I could be. I think she's the most beautiful person in the world, but she's poor as shit. That's going to be a problem. or vice versa. Or
Wait a
vice
minute,
versa. She's loaded. She's absolutely loaded. She makes triple what I make,
But
she's not attractive. Right? I mean, there's so many different things.
Are you still cutting them both off though?
I'm cutting them both off. I got to.
Ooh, he chooses violence. He said the most beautiful woman.
Wow, ladies.
But she broke.
But she broke.
He cut her off. Ladies, y'all got a response to that?
To that one, I just feel like if she's broke, she's been broke. So that means you ain't rocking heavy with her. She didn't just become broke. She's been broke. So you never got to the point of even rocking heavy with her, right? Because she's broke.
Wow.
So y'all never got to a point of even rocking heavy because she's broke. Like she's been broke. So she's not the type of person we talking about.
That's not necessarily true though, because that happens all the time. We talking about
with you though. With you.
For me personally, I'm letting him go, right? But I'm saying, but this happens. I know people all the time that you're so physically attracted to someone, so you're clearly get hot and heavy. You know, they can F around, move in with you. And now you're seeing even more of those characteristics. Again, you're seeing the fact that they're dead broke and now they're leeching off you, but you don't realize it, right? Because it's all about that physical connection with them.
Well, people gonna show you they broke before y'all move in, though, if you paying attention.
Well, I agree 100%. People show you red flags every single day.
That's also true.
Wow. So, listen.
That's it for me, yo.
Listen. What we gonna do? Listen. Hold on.
I mean, that broke was just an example. I'm saying there's another example.
That's a good example.
What she chooses to be broke, she don't feel like conforming to society, but she just want to be there and rock with you.
Well, her broke ass could be on the corner.
And I agree.
Hey, yo!
But then tomorrow she becomes a millionaire. She's still gonna be on the corner.
Yeah.
Look,
I'm over that. I blocked the Instagram. I'm good.
Yo, listen. We gonna do?
She got unfollowed.
We're gonna take a quick 2.2 minute break. We're gonna take a 2-minute break. When we come back, I'm gonna introduce the topic, and we're gonna continue this conversation. It's your boy Randy Choo, aka Mr. Choo-On-That. We'll be right back after this quick 2.2. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Randy Choo, aka Mr. Choo-On-That. And I have a full panel. I'm going to introduce them real quick for everyone to know who they are. To my right, I have
Mr. Grantastic, aka the Professor, aka Negro Suave.
And to the left, I have Miss Parker. Say hi to the people.
Hi, people.
Hi, Miss Parker. And then you see I have my other sister with me, Brandy Yates, in the building. Talk to the people.
What's up?
And then I have my brother from another mother, JB, aka the Sloth, in the building. Talk to the people.
Yes, sir. It was good people.
Listen. So last week we opened up the series on the modern society, and we started off with the modern man, right? It was so juicy, pause, that even we had callers from international. We had callers from New Zealand calling in talking about how the message of the modern society need to be brought to New Zealand, right? And I appreciated that so much. So tonight, I want to talk about the modern woman. The good, the bad, the beautiful, and the ugly. What the hell is going on with the modern woman? I want to start it off this way. Let me give some guidelines real quick. Number one, this is a discussion and a dialogue, not an interview, which means that you can talk, comment, cut off whenever you daggone well please. If you are triggered by this show, that's your fault, not mine. Deal with your own triggers and don't blame us for your lack of self-evolution. With that being said, everyone who has a disagreement, stand on your argument unless you begin to agree with the person who is debating you. Then just say, I simply changed my argument and I agree.
I see what you're saying.
I see what you're saying. So I'm going to throw out some discussion points.
We taking callers.
We definitely taking callers. The number to dial is 516-531-9828. 516-531-9828. If you are on the Podbean app, just call in. I can see you. Anyway, so with that being said, I am going to throw out some discussion points. And there's no particular order in which to answer. You answer according to how you feel. I am going to now enlarge the screen so I can see my guest. And we are going to dive into said topic. If you're watching this video, please like, share. Make sure you subscribe to Chew Radio Network on all platforms. We are no longer a podcast radio. We are now a network that has multiple podcasts and radio shows on it. And I am going to do my best to continue to convince these two guests that I have virtually to join the network. Anyway, that's behind the scenes type stuff. Anyway, that's what I'm talking about. The sloth is with me. Brandy, we're going to talk. Anyway, so no, because I respect your brand. I like it.
I love what you guys are doing. I have a lot on my plate, so I just want to make sure if I commit to it, I'm able to fulfill it.
Do it, yeah.
I am a one person band right now.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know, so
that's all right. Somebody gonna bend the knee.
Hey,
I'm down.
I'm just saying. Can the modern woman keep the flaws of her man a secret, even with her closest friends? Can the modern woman keep the flaws of her man a secret, even when she's talking to her closest friends? My panel is aghast. Discussion point is thrown out. Anyone can chime in at any point.
There's a lot of head shaking already.
Whoever wants to start.
Ladies first.
That's a simple. Hell no.
It probably ain't even no discussion. I think we all like, nope.
Yeah, pretty much. That was easy.
Ain't even under debate. Nope.
Oh my God. So if that's the case, then how can the modern woman ask their man to be vulnerable if the man already knows that you can't keep a secret? And how can we change that perspective of the modern woman? Talk to me, panel.
Randy, can I be a pain in the ass first?
Please.
Can I ask you a question? Can you, just for our audience and for the panel, pretty much for myself, can you define to us your definition of a modern woman?
Woo! The modern woman is a woman that is 40 years old and younger, that has taken on the societal views of feminism, equality, happy wife, happy life, etc., etc., etc. Is the modern woman versus the traditional woman who was the homemaker, know how to walk in her own self-identity as well as uplifting her man. The modern woman and the traditional woman are different, and yet they have similarities. I'm going to break that down more as the show progresses. So that's the standard or the foundation in which I'm going to build said topic on, but I don't want to give too much out because I don't want to persuade people to have a different perspective of the modern woman.
No, I appreciate that. I think that was really important for you to tell us.
Okay. So talk to us. How can a man be vulnerable with the modern woman?
Good luck with that, bro.
Yeah.
What do you mean? If she's talking to her friends?
If we already established that the modern woman can't keep the flaws of her man a secret, right? And the man knows this. If the trust is lost in that perspective, then how can a man be vulnerable to the modern woman if that's what modern women are asking for? Be vulnerable with me. But how can I if I already know you're going to spill my secret flaws to your homegirl?
I think first it was
You're gonna just say, God damn.
Go ahead, Brandy. Go ahead.
I think first it would need to start with more men actually telling women that. Because I don't think men make that aware enough. Even though she should know it already, I think men need to be direct with her and be like, just say, babe, I can't, you talk too much. Like, I cannot tell you the things I need to tell you because you're going to go make a post about it. You're going to go talk to your family. You're going to go talk to your girls. Like, I think it needs to be directly said to her, like, hurt her feelings so she can know, like, hey, I'm the reason my man is not opening up, and then give her the space to maybe see if she is trying to change that.
So, so you was brought on this show to choose violence, not me, because that's gonna get you
I'm
stabbed.
accountability coach. I go straight for the throat.
If you tell a woman that she's talking too much, you think something positive is gonna come after that?
Thank
It's
you.
not.
I
It's
was
not.
waiting for someone to say that.
No, but
You're gonna
that's
get
the
shanked in the
issue.
neck.
But that's the issue. We allow women to do any and everything, however and whenever.
So we create the safe space
So we
in order for them to control it.
Yes.
Ooh.
So then we complain about it. But at some point the cycle has to stop. Who's going to stop the cycle?
That's a fair point.
But
So
it's a point, but like you said, you can't, it's the way in which you bring it to the table. You can't just say you talk too much, because that's that's going to bring a defense mechanism.
Absolutely.
Where if it's just like, hey, look, you know, I want to be open and I want to be honest with you about this, but this is something you can't tell your friends. I know you need to tell your friends. I know you need to talk and fellowship and all of that stuff like that. But certain things have to be off topic, and we can agree as partners to decide on what that is together.
So let me agree wholeheartedly.
You know what? I totally don't even agree with what I just said.
No. You did good. You did good. I'm gonna agree wholeheartedly with you, but this is where I'm gonna disagree with. That is how you want him to express that. You can't control how he expresses himself. That's another issue in relationships. We want the man to say it how we want them to say it, when we want them to say it, or never, when we do not want them to say it. So it's like that's the control issue that women have that needs to be broken. Because if you guys have been together and your man comes to you and say, hey, you talk too much, you as his woman should know, dang, I fucked up. Like, I've been tripping. You shouldn't automatically go to defense like, who is he talking to? Like, you have to know that if your man is coming at you like that, and he ain't never came at you like that, you got to know that you've been pushing buttons long enough.
If y'all want to chime in, the number to dial is 516-531-9828, 516-531-9828. If you're listening on the Podbean app, just click call in. We got you. Go ahead, JB.
So, Brent, like, I understand where you're coming from, right? But I think what you're describing is, for the most part, two healthy adults that are open to communication. And for the most part, I don't know, 86% of relationships don't have that. So that's pretty much a problem. And then, of course, that really goes down to how a lot of folks were brought up, to your point, how they express their emotions, which is a whole nother animal. But, if we just think about this whole scenario that we just presented, right? I have a flaw, and my wife, my girl, is going to go run her mouth to her friends. So could you imagine if I went to her and I said, hey, babe, you talk way too much, and I tried to explain why? Could you imagine what that conversation is going to be with her to her friends?
Yep.
I'm packing my stuff. Yep. I'm out, because that's not working.
And that's what I was going to ask you next. So then what do you do? Do you continue to stay in a situation like that?
Absolutely not.
Or do you address the issue, address the elephant in the room, and see if it gets better, or stay and don't complain?
Mike is on call it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ms. Park. You was going to say something?
I was just going to say, can we narrow down like a specific thing?
Such as?
That's what I'm saying. Can we give this thing a name?
I mean, kind of the topic that was revolved around the whole Jada and Will thing was that she was telling other people around
about
their sex life.
Okay, sex life.
See, so that's a problem for me personally, right? So I do understand that, when you're in a relationship with someone, especially for that type of duration, if you're talking about damn near 20 plus years, yeah, the sex is probably going to get stale. And I actually think that a lot of women in general are going to have that conversation with their friends, right? They're going to say, hey, you know, it's just not the same. The magic isn't there. Maybe, try to even discuss, hey, is there something that you think you can suggest that we can do to kind of spice it up a little? But I have a problem with all of a sudden that homegirl is now telling, open up Pandora's box, and now the whole entire world knows that. I know it's a little bit tough because for the most part, if we try to just make normalize this a little bit, right? We're not talking about celebrities. So all of a sudden you see this cryptic post on Instagram about, sex life. I'm gonna feel some type of way, right? Like some sort of cryptic post that women love to do with these subliminals. Some song came out by Cardi or someone else with
Mhm.
some song. Now I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, she's absolutely fucking right. So now I'm feeling some type of way. I'm leaving that. So to your point, Brandy, like if I try to work something out and I give an honest attempt, and that's the key. If I give an honest, earnest attempt and things aren't getting better, I am out the door. But that's just me in general, right? If I can't fix a situation and honestly put in that effort and it just doesn't work because things are sometimes just they don't work, I am leaving. That's just my mentality.
But I respect the fact that you said you try to put in the effort to make it work. Those hard conversations have to be had. If they don't be had,
And
nothing
that's on
changes.
every level.
But wait a minute, how
Yeah,
can we say
yeah.
how can we say we can have these hard conversations that, and if in fact the modern woman never truly starts the process to heal because she doesn't know how to let go of the past mistakes of her man?
Well, I see that's such a loaded question because like, what's the past mistakes? Like, did I cheat on my girl, my wife, and is
Yeah.
that a mistake, or is it I left the toilet seat up? Like, I mean, that what type of mistake are we
So we're
talking about?
talking about, okay, so say she's in a relationship and the man doesn't meet her expectations.
Sexually,
Sexually. So we're gonna go back to sex.
No, sexually,
financially.
financially, emotionally, physically.
Oh, it's
As
time to let him go.
Yeah, it's like why are we together? Like what?
I said
I don't
all of them. Yeah, that's a lot.
Wait a
yeah,
minute.
like you just name like 50 different things. Like why are we even?
Be wasting energy talking
Okay,
about
so
that.
if the man
Good
if the man
together?
if the man can't if the man can't hold down the household financially and the woman has to go to work and she is complaining about the fact that she has to go to work, is that a woman that you would keep? Is that a man that you would keep? Or is that a situation that you feel like could be worked out in the with the modern woman? Because, and I say that because when you read all the blogs, when you see all the posts, modern women have this tendency of wanting all this whole list of what a man should be, and literally that's like the 5% of the world. They want a man that's making 65 to 75,000 plus. They want a nigga that's 6 foot something. They want a man who's financially literate, knows how to handle the finances and all that stuff. All that's like the top 5% of men in the world. So if that man is not in that top 5%, is he not worthy of a modern woman?
Well, Brandy, as a modern woman, you could take this one first.
That was so bad.
Oh shoot! Oh shoot! He chose violence.
But the way he stated the question is actually for a man to answer.
Oh
Oh,
shoot!
so you're returning the violence with fire. Excellent.
Okay.
Um, see, oh god, how do I say this respectfully? Um,
Don't.
You don't.
yeah, I figured
No.
that much.
Yeah.
See, I find that question really interesting, right? So if a modern woman is complaining about working and I have to work as well, like we're just not going to be compatible, right? And I think
Mm.
that's really going to come down to it. Like you're going to have to work because I hate to say it. Knock on wood, I live comfortably, but you know what? I'm not an NBA ball player. Right? I'm not in the NFL. Like I don't have generational money. I'm sorry. Your ass is going to have to go to work, especially if you want nice things. And the funny part about it, listen, I'll help you out where I can. Of course, I contribute where I can, whether it's to the household, all that other good stuff. Hey, you want to have a spa day? Let's do it. You're going to, a vacation here and there. That's cool. I'm with it. But you know what? Again, it's still going to be, and I feel like this is going to be the center of today's conversation. It's going to be, I'm putting in 50% and you're putting in 50%. And if your ass is arguing about working, that's not putting in the 50%. So to me, that's just, I'm out of here. I'm good. I feel like that's a general theme. I'm just leaving. Every situation, I'm leaving.
No. I'm sorry. I just find it hilarious that every situation you gone.
Yo, you can't play with
You
JB.
say you ain't got no tolerance level, huh?
Gone.
JB don't unpack.
Grandtastic, do you have something to say?
The dollar still toothbrush.
I think the one thing that when we're talking about the modern woman, I feel as if it's kind of like two women we're talking about, right? I feel as if we're talking about the Instagram kind of Twitter modern woman, and then like the 10 toes on the ground.
So we're talking about the thought and the wife. Okay.
I mean, oh my gosh. Okay.
Go ahead. No, we're choosing violence tonight.
Oh my God. So, but I think that's kind of where, because I'm hearing some of the things, and I'm actually baffled by some of the things that are being said on the panel, because I've never experienced some of these things. Maybe I just try to stick with the 10 toes on the ground women. However, is this whole conversation, and like, there's a lot of people who are talking about this, Kevin Samuels, everyone that's kind of talking about this modern woman. Is this because we're really paying attention a lot to the Instagram, Twitter modern woman? Or are we actually like talking about real people that we know in real life? That's one question that I'm really kind of curious about.
As a life coach, I speak from the real women.
Yeah, it is.
As a person with a degree in women's studies, I speak for everybody.
You can't speak for me.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Everybody outside of Miss Parker. Let me.
So wait. Hold on. So let me throw this controversial question into the discussion point. Can a man hold the modern woman accountable without backlash?
Yes.
Miss Parker?
I would like him to.
Kenny.
So you would like your man to hold you accountable.
That's the only way we're gonna get somewhere.
And you're not gonna give him no backlash, no lip, no attitude, none of that.
Nothing goes without that. Nothing comes. No, to be honest, like, we're humans, so you're gonna have, the opposition. You're gonna go back and forth. We have different understandings.
But that's not true though, because amongst men, when you hold a man accountable, I'm not talking about a little boy, I'm talking about a man. When you hold a man accountable, he doesn't backtalk. He doesn't give attitude. He evaluates and adjusts. Women, on the other hand, can they say the same thing? Miss Parker, JB, then Brandy, then Grandtastic. Go ahead.
Damn.
Yeah, think about it.
Kill that shit. Stop the cap.
I don't have no cap to give, but I could say this modern woman encourages the critique.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
But I haven't had a man to do it in a way that is for my benefit. Or constructive.
Okay.
It hasn't been constructive. It could be to tear somebody down. I feel like a lot of women have been tore down. And, when somebody else comes to you, that's automatically what you think is coming to you. But if you have a real man, like you're saying, the one that if you tell him something, you tell him something to his benefit, he's going to accept it because he loves you and appreciates you.
Right.
I feel the same way as a modern woman. I can't speak for everyone else.
Right.
I enjoy the constructive criticism because I am a person of affirmation, so I need your words. Whether those words are good or bad, those words are words that I can
understand where you coming from.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
for you,
Yeah.
and for
Yeah.
me, and for
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
and back
Yeah.
and forth and back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
That makes sense, Miss Parker. Hi, Miss Parker. Okay. JB, Brandy, then Grantastic.
Oh lordy.
Uh-oh.
So like this is, to me, this is such an interesting conversation, right? Because honestly, I feel like this really just comes down to not even necessarily, the modern man or the modern woman. Like I just feel like this is healthy communication in general.
Yes.
And
People
like you almost take that for granted because a lot of people just don't know how to really have those type of healthy conversations.
Yes.
And unfortunately what happens is, Miss Parker, kind of to your point, a young lady, her entire life she's been talked down to. So now if there's someone that's trying to actually give her a somewhat of a good message or some constructive feedback, she may not necessarily know how to take it. And then her reaction is going to cause that individual to not want to continue these type of conversations. And then the cycle kind of continues. And vice versa, men growing up, a lot of times they don't know how to honestly communicate in a constructive manner as well, which becomes a whole nother animal. Now, I'm not
Wait,
going
but
to.
does the man have to know how to communicate in a constructive way, or is it the
Absolutely.
woman's responsibility
It's
to
both their
understand her
responsibility.
man?
It's mutual.
Okay.
That's going to be a theme. It's definitely mutual, right? Because even like when you're starting to get to talk to someone, right? You're starting to get to know them. You enter, or you're hoping to potentially enter a relationship, and then they become your significant other, right? If they're doing something that you don't like, you have to say something. You have to address that. And if you don't address it, what's end up going to happen is just it's going to continue, and it's going to get progressively worse. Because then what happens if you have a kid or you have children? So now this red flag that you've been carrying around throughout the life of this relationship, now you're adding a mortgage to it, you're adding kids, and now it's so much more difficult to step away from that individual.
Mm.
So that's why, like, I just really believe in general, like, you need to have that mutual conversation. And I don't want to agree with Miss Parker, but you have to you gotta have that constructive feedback with that person.
Your face.
Okay, Brandy,
Your face.
then Grantastic.
So when I give answers, I try to give it from not always my personal
Yeah,
experience.
because you're an anomaly. You're not the majority. So
Yes, because it's not many like me. And when I say that, that's not to boast, but it is to boast
it's
because
a fact.
I went through my healing. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
purposely went through my healing stages. I purposely called out my own shit. I purposely worked on that.
yeah.
And it's not many women that do that. So when I speak from my opinion, it's gonna be from the majority of what I see from being
Yeah.
a life coach and then just dealing with women on personal and business levels. So I'm going to say that they do not take it well. Like they do not, whether it's constructive or not, I don't think they'll be able to receive it because it goes back to what both of them said. Actually, if I've been done like this my whole life and I've never worked on healing, it doesn't matter how good you come to me. I'm going to be on the defense. And so I've seen it happen a lot. And the fact that I like how JB said, most men, if you really look at it, men aren't taught how to be constructive with women. Like they're not taught that. So the only way that they're going to be taught that is if we have these men groups that's actually teaching him as a man, or if women are teaching them, this is how I would like you to talk to me. This is what I feel like is constructive. But we have today, women don't, I'm not teaching no man A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You got to already come ready. But that's not reality.
There's a lot of people with that mindset.
There's a lot of women with that. And that's not reality because most men's parents, grandparents, homeboys ain't teaching them how to be constructive when it comes
Brandy,
to
can I ask this before I get to you, Grantastic? Does the modern woman have the capacity to allow her man to evolve to that effective communicator? Because a lot of men, like you said, don't have the teaching or the knowledge, know how to effectively communicate their feelings.
Well, it's actually not an expectation for men to communicate.
Yeah.
Like if we're gonna boil it down to what we teach our children, we don't teach our boys to communicate. Yep. All we teach boys is to make money.
Provide, protect.
And that's it, and protect. Wow. That's all that we teach our young boys. Yeah. So when we have like this, construct of our society that like, all right, boys, all you do is you fight and you make money. Yeah. And then it's just like women pay attention to Disney, pay attention to Instagram, and then get this like kind of like ultra universe of what a relationship could be. Yeah. And then you're like, all right, get together and try to make this thing work.
That's true that you said that, because one things that I do for my sons, that I look at the things that I lacked growing up and I give that to my sons, right? And so like I never had the ability to be emotional when I was growing up, because I'm in the projects or I'm in a situation where I had to be tough, and I built the reputation of being a fighter and a tough guy, and I had to uphold that image so that I wouldn't get messed with in the streets, right? Mm-hmm. But with my sons, they don't know what street life is like. They're protected from having that kind of lifestyle. And yeah, I mean, but my son played football, right? And his team didn't make it to the playoffs. And this was his first year playing organized official football, and outside of playing with his homeboys and, ripping and running and all that. So I was able to give him an experience that I never actually had an opportunity to get with my father. And that was, he was able to be emotional about about his team failing in a sport while he had success. And I was able to hold him, allow him to cry on my shoulders, and let him know that in certain situations, it's okay to show your emotions to your loved ones, including women, right? Mm-hmm. I was able to teach him that. Mm-hmm. See, when I got into my relationship with my wife, like I was fresh off the streets, and I just gave my life to the Most High, and I was just getting myself together. I didn't graduate high school, so I had to get my GED, and I had reading problems. And because when I started doing studies in history and studies with the scriptures of my religion, is when I learned how to read properly and how to have deductive reasoning and critical thinking, because I didn't graduate high school. I didn't care about school because I fought for survival. I was making money. I had jobs, and I knew how to fight. And I knew how to run the streets. So I evolved as a man during my relationship. And so, but I had a woman who was able to hold me down to that capacity to allow me to evolve, right? Mm-hmm. But when I look at the landscape of my homeboys that's looking for a woman now, I realize that a lot of the modern women don't really want to fall in love with their man. They want to fall into survival.
What do you mean by that?
They want a man who can do what they say, give them the money that they want, give them the dick style that they want, and leave them alone.
It's the first time I ever heard dick style in my life. Continue.
No, seriously though. But think about it.
Who told you that?
It's a bunch of dudes. Go ahead.
Dick style.
Oh
it's a bunch of dudes that feel like they can't be emotional with their woman because they feel like that woman is going to use that as ammunition against them when they can't provide financially or when they can't provide and make that woman happy. They don't have the privilege of growing as a man with their woman because they can't fully be themselves in front of their woman because their woman is so judgmental of their flaws. Go ahead.
To be honest, it sounds like they shouldn't be in a relationship. It sounds like they really should be working on themselves and their own personal growth, because
JB, hold on. But see, you can't really properly grow fully to your fullest potential without relationship, because the relationship itself is a mirror of or a reflection of what you have on the exterior, on the interior. See, the triggers that the man has and the woman has are highlighted in relationship because the universe designs it that way so that you can focus on evolving yourself within that relationship. So we have pointed the finger at the person instead of pointing the finger at ourselves and evolving ourselves, because the relationship is just a mirror of what's really going on the inside of us. We attract who we are. There's no such thing as being unequally yoked in a relationship. You get who you are.
So you just answered your own question.
No. No, I'm not asking. I'm not asking the question for myself. I'm asking the question for the panel, because we have so many different ideologies when it comes to relationships, right? So if a woman always complains about her man is not doing A, B, and C,
and she's attracting a man.
She's attracting that man, though.
So what is the man supposed to do if she's attracting that man? That man obviously is equally yoked to that type of woman who. What?
But women pull the plug faster than men. That's the whole point of the conversation.
Unless you're JB.
No.
Right.
No.
You're right about that.
No. 75%.
Real quick.
75% of divorces filed in the United States of America are filed by women. Women pull the plug faster than men. Because women don't like to confront themselves. They don't like to be held accountable to who they really are.
I can't agree with that because
that's such a flawed
stat.
for 10 years.
Huh?
So that stat is flawed because
how? Talk to me.
You said 75%.
Yes.
In divorce, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's an echo.
Yeah, they're definitely echo. I don't know if that's on my side or.
I don't know. Go ahead. Keep talking.
But the issue is out of that 75%, maybe, I don't know, 96% of that population should have never got married in the first place.
Woo!
Individuals or just the whole couple? What do you mean? The couple should have never gotten married. Okay.
Why?
Why? Because more than likely they were probably bad. They weren't compatible for each other. More than likely. Again, it's really hard because we're generalizing in this type of conversation. Is
anyone truly compatible to another person?
I mean, my personal opinion is no.
Because,
so how can you use that
extent?
So how can you? What he's saying, I do agree. A lot of people get married and shouldn't get married because they get married for the wrong reasons. So
there we go. Go deeper.
Other than compatibility. So you get married because okay, I slipped up, we fornicated and had a child. I don't want nobody else to raise my son or daughter. So boom, let's get married. There, oh dang, he got money. Or whatever the case. You know what? Boom, let's get married. Like nobody's getting married off compatibility. Well, I can't say nobody, but majority of people are getting married for things other than compatibility, and thinking about, is this the type of man I want to lead my household, or is this the type of woman I want to raise my kids? Like nobody is really thinking of those particular future things.
I agree with that.
I
think people put their own expectations up there and they run with that.
I think people also just lonely and they don't work.
Lonely, oh my god.
Yeah, like we're getting to a point in our society where people legitimately. Hold on a sec. We're getting to a point in our society where people legitimately are having children by themselves to not be alone. Like we have women that are running to the sperm bank to have kids because they can't have a relationship with a grown partner
or
at their level.
Want to
or can though.
Too difficult.
But at the same time though, it's just like, but remember, it's like these are the things that we're doing. So we're creating environments now that because we're just the research about single parent households and all that stuff. We have gone through that. I went through that. But now we're recreating those not because of a circumstance. Like my father was in prison. That's the reason why we had a single parent household. But we're not creating because of like that part. We're creating this because it's like, I can't find a nigga out there. So I'm gonna get this. Or it's just like I'm tired. I'm sick of being lonely every night by my man. I'm sorry.
Or you just don't want to wait for somebody to create a family.
But people are having kids before a relationship, though.
But it's like, but is it healthy to create a family before you create a relationship?
Yeah, that's the issue.
That's been our issue for a long time now.
But how can you create a
How can-
relationship
Mhm.
if a majority of the modern women are still in their hoe phase?
What about the niggas that's in their whole phase? What you talking
I,
about?
I don't know they're necessarily still in the whole phase, man. I mean, I don't, you know,
What?
if
Are you serious? That's
what I
what you
said, I said I don't think they're in the whole phase.
What
Say that
is
again,
a-
JB.
What is a whole phase?
I said they're not in their whole phase.
Two.
Okay, you say the majority of the women of the current society are not in their hoe phase.
Yeah, I don't think so. To be perfectly honest, I think.
Why do you think that?
Oh, don't worry, I'll tell you, Miss Parker.
Not you. I'm sorry. I know you're gonna tell me. I'm talking about him.
Go ahead, JB.
No, honestly, I think social media fucked up just people in general.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the real issue really. Well, not the real. One of the real issues that come down to it is, you know, you're scrolling on your news feed and you say, oh my God, they're so happy together. I want that. Oh, look at them. They look so cute together. Oh, that dress is ugly, and you just keep going and stuff, right? So now you're building up these expectations that, okay, when I get my man or when I get my woman, I'm gonna start posting all these vacation trips and all this bullshit. And what you're trying to do a lot of times, and this is what happens quite often, is that now you're trying to fast track relationships instead of to really take the time to get to know the person. It's because in your head you want to build this lifestyle that you can post on social media.
Ooh.
Now I have a question for you, JB. Is there actually an age where, because you know, like some people, like when they get close to 30, whatever, they start that fast track. You know, like, oh, the eggs is rolling. You know,
The midlife
we start speeding.
crisis.
You know, that kind of thing. Is there actual an age where it is okay to kind of fast track things, in your opinion?
I think that's always going to be up to the individual. I know that's not the answer that people want to hear, but yeah, I think, see, because of course men and women are different, right? And then you literally have scientific reasons why women want to fast track because you know you want to bring in a healthy human being into the world, and you know you just have better rates of diseases and you know that's having a healthy kid, blah blah blah. So for a
Right.
woman, it's definitely going to be a lot, you know. Probably again, I'm just throwing a number out there. So Brandy, already, you know, you're giving me a 30 face. It's probably going to be sometime around their late 20s, early 30s. Now, men's a little bit different. The men's are probably going the Jay-Z route and wait into their 40s, and because they can always just go down 10, 15 years and get themselves a young woman.
This
A
child
lot
is ugly as crap.
men. That's not nice.
Don't talk about that, man.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I might agree, but that's not nice.
It's the truth, though. Go ahead.
But you know, women, they don't have that luxury, right? Women, for the most part, a 40-year-old woman is not going to go get a 50-year-old man, right? Because then you're going to bring in a kid, and you know, God forbid, you're probably going to be around for like 20, 30 years. Right? It's kind of fucked up to bring a human life, but that's a whole other conversation, right?
Yo, yeah.
But has our modern society kind of pushed us to that point though? Because you know, we everyone's going on like the college track, get your bag, chase your degree, and then worry about, you know, your relationships and family. So have our society kind of pushed us to the brink of where now we get to, when we're done accomplishing everything we want to accomplish and now we're ready for a family, then we start fast tracking it? Or is it just kind of just, we just, as millennials, we just do whatever the hell we want to do anyways?
I think millennials do whatever the hell they want.
You know, they probably do. Well, they do whatever they want because they have much better options, to be perfectly honest.
So,
I mean,
And the options come from social media.
Yeah.
The idea of the options.
It's so, you know, to your point, it's so easy. Like, oh, she's cute, let me just send her a DM, right? Like that didn't happen, you know, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, you literally had to.
You had to approach the woman.
Shit, you had to get their screen name somehow.
or write a letter or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Or
dial
run
up.
into
It took a long time.
So let me ask-
get through.
So let me
It's
ask
called
this real
waiting.
quick. Let me ask this real quick. I'm gonna ask this to Brandy, then I'm gonna go to JB, Miss Parker, Grantastic. What are some good things about the modern woman? I'm going to sip.
Damn, that was quiet.
Cup of Chew
Y'all
Radio.
niggas got nothing to
Because
say.
I mean, niggas been defending modern women the whole show. So tell me at least two things that's good about the modern woman as I sip my Chew Radio cup.
To be honest. I have one. I'm sure there's more. I just have one. Um, I like the fact that modern women are for real hustlers. So it's
Mm.
a lot of modern women that's building their brands, getting their
Mm.
money, how they need to get it legally. A lot of them are getting it legally. So I like the fact that a lot of them are strong as far as being hustlers. So
Okay.
they can bring the money in,
Mm-hmm.
provide if needed, Um that's somebody else gotta help me out because that's
I
all
got.
that's all I got.
Don't
Bruh.
you worry, buddy. Don't you worry. I actually think there's a lot of positive, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
I think the fact that they know what they want, I think that's probably the biggest positive because now you're not wasting time. And I
Mm.
don't know about you guys, but time is an absolute resource that you can't get back.
That's
So
true.
Facts.
I appreciate the woman that knows what they want. So we're both not going to waste our time trying to get to know each other or even entertain a relationship because we're just not, again. I'm going to
So
use my yes. Go
can I
ahead.
step
Go
in
ahead.
on that one? Okay. So when you say a lot of women know what they want, I want to disagree from a life coach standpoint. But I want you to explain when you say you like that a lot of them know what they want. Is that, or are you talking about business wise, or exactly what are you
Street good.
talking about?
So great question, life coach. So I think in general, right? Again, I know we're talking in a lot of generality, but for the most part, right? I think any or most let me say everybody, but most people have an
You can say
idea of
AJB. Say some banal. That's a phrase we have on the show. We
some
say some,
banal.
but not all. Some banal.
All right,
Go ahead.
that phrase. Um,
Yeah.
I think for the most part, you have an idea of what you're looking for in terms of your significant other, right? I think some people take it to the extremes and they overly complicate it, right? For the most part, you're looking for someone that you find anyway funny, right? Someone that is kind, someone that you're physically attracted to, someone that you can quote unquote grow with them, right? Just basic, just we'll just say basic things, right? That's what I'm talking about when I say a modern woman knows what they want, right? Or at least that is their expectation of what or not expectation, that's their perception of what they want. To your
Mm.
point, a lot of people also they think they know what they want, and that's why they keep attracting the same type,
Mm.
but that type is not for them and it doesn't work for them, and that's why they keep going to these toxic type relationships, and the cycle continues. But I think for the most part, and that's what I mean. I think for a lot of women, especially in their 30s, they have an idea, a good generalization of what they want or what they're looking for in a significant other.
Mm. Miss Parker.
I would say that the modern woman is resilient
Mm.
because no matter what you see on social media, how you see her lashes put on right, whether she done went and got surgery or whatever the case may be, it's
I
just
didn't know
all
we
Oh
was,
over the
shoot.
I
place.
didn't know we was going that
Oh
direction. I'm sorry. That
But
caught me
snap.
I'm
off
just
guard.
saying, resilient.
Hmm.
You don't know. A lot of people go through their pain and their trauma. You know, internally they don't share those good things on social media. I mean, those bad things on social media or with people. Because it could be embarrassing or whatever. But I say resilient because we're still here.
Hmm.
We're still here today. We had to come from somewhere,
Hmm.
whether we came from someone who wasn't as resilient, whether we came from an experience that we overcame to be where we are today to make shit work because, that's what we had to do. Either you get down or you lay down. So, I would say resilience. I
Okay.
know a lot of women who go through things that we haven't even talked about, haven't even touched on.
Hmm.
As far as the abuse
Hmm.
um, or worse, and live to be able to tell about it. or even face it or acknowledge it and go through it in their own way, whether they've been taught to or not. The fact that they're still here, they're still pushing, they're still the vice president, they're still going to college, they're still, raising daughters and sons the best way that they know how, that the resilience is there, whether people care about us or not, whether, we're the most unprotected. I'm talking about Black females, in America right now. We are still here and we're doing the best that we can with what we got. So I believe that we are very resilient.
Fantastic.
I just want to say for the record, my favorite bracket of this modern woman we're talking about is kind of like the 33 to 40-ish kind of range. And the reason why I say that is because it's a mix of the modern and the traditional. That's my favorite group because that's the group that kind of I guess they still kind of, I hate to say like the gender roles or whatever. They're not so like anti of like a man can be a man and a woman can be a woman. So I do like that. It's kind of a mix, and then they still have the modernization of like we can go after the bag and we can raise our family as well. So it's kind of more balanced in that age bracket. Marriage in the Black community has increased in our particular age group, in this particular age group. So that's one thing as well. So it's just as much as we have issues and we talk about this on many platforms, we got to acknowledge that Black marriages have increased in this generation, and I think that's very important to acknowledge.
Only 3% of Black men marry outside of their race. Only 3% of Black men marry outside of their race. BlackDemographics.org.
And kind of just to go, Ms. Parker, with your thing of resilience, I appreciate the fact that modern women, again, this age bracket, kind of 33 to 40 is kind of that range, they're willing to work on themselves and go to therapy, because generations before, they're holding on to their issues as if it is their life source, and they don't want to work out anything like that. So I will say that as well. And then also I even though, we kind of talked about earlier about like, discussions of, the bedroom that goes out, but the fact that women are actually comfortable having conversations around sex. Actually, I think that's a big thing. And that works for men. So when women start having like, oh girl, what'd you do? Like I practice putting my head around behind my neck. Girl, you should try that too. And then these things kind of get passed on. So
take the whole wood in your mouth. Okay, go ahead.
Put a foot in your mouth. Anyway, so it's things around that which women are able, like the fact that women in our generation are able to have more conversations around these subjects, there is a pathway to improve. Now, has everyone chosen that pathway? Okay, that's a different story. But at least the pathway is actually available now, because when you go back a couple generations, not only was the pathway not available, no one wanted to take it at all.
Would a modern man, would a man want a woman who has an OnlyFans?
I think it depends what it is, because I actually know people with OnlyFans. And
OnlyFans and you showing that body. I ain't talking about feet and panties.
Stroke.
Well, I dated a stripper, so I'm okay with it. Sorry.
The Slav has spoken.
So that wasn't off.
You gotta have some confidence.
Leave her for that.
I know JB got confidence. What'd you say? What?
Oh,
I missed it.
Oh shoot!
She ain't broke.
She wasn't broke.
Definitely wasn't broke.
Actually, no. It depends. Was she a Friday, Saturday night stripper, or was it Tuesday night stripper?
I only seen her during the week. She was definitely working weekends.
So she had money. She was a Friday night, because the difference. If you was a Monday, Tuesday girl, your bread looked different than a Friday, Saturday night girl.
So here's my last question, and y'all can chime in however you want, whatever order you want. The woman that we have in today's society, was that woman birthed out of love or birthed out of survival?
Oh, so you're just bringing the loaded questions all night.
That is a loaded question.
Because it's so tough to answer, though, honestly, because it really depends on. It always depends on how someone was brought up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think today's woman has evolved to the times, right? Thankfully, a lot of things have changed. Of course, some have remained the same, but women in general have much more opportunity just to do anything in general, right? I mean, of course, if you want to start to go and talk about, you know, in terms of the salary gaps and things of that nature, of course, it's nowhere equal. We know that, but at least thankfully, women are starting to make more money. Of course, now they're making more noise. I think you brought up the vice president. Now you got more of a presence, right? So you're seeing that more representation, which is exactly what we need, or especially in women. Again, I'm just going to throw this. I am a feminist, so I am all pro women. Listen, if they want to go to war and they want to get shot in the ass, I'm all for it. Go ahead and get shot in the ass, okay? Because I'm not going to go there and I'm not going to get a shot. So I am co-signing it. But just in general, I think the landscapes of society has changed. So I think they have to, they had to evolve, because the days of that. God, every time I say this, it just sounds so fucked up, and I'm gonna hate myself when I listen to this back. But in general, what's happening, right, is women have to evolve because fuck, I'm just say it. Men ain't shit, right? Let's call it what it is, right? 95% of men ain't shit. I mean, in general, 95% of people ain't shit, but men for the most part, they ain't shit, right? And unfortunately, for a lot of women, they don't really have like the greatest pool, the greatest selection of men out there. If we're gonna call a spade, right? So I know we're making a lot of conversations, and we're assuming that these men are these phenomenal bachelors, but they're not, right? A lot of them are out there
I
commanding.
don't know what platform does that, but go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, right? And I think that's the problem, right? Is women are looking for like this perfect man, but he doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, by the way.
Oh my gosh, Miss Parker got spoke for you all night. Go ahead, JB.
I'm not looking for the perfect man, by the way. Just letting you know.
Noted. I'll keep that in mind. But that's the problem, right? So men ain't shit, right? And women have to, in order for them to be to be satisfied and them to be happy, they have to evolve. And what they're honestly what they're asking for, even though the expectations is absolutely OD, and it probably represents, to your point, Randy, earlier, like 5% of the actual population. They're honestly, when you just think about it and keep it really simple, they want the best. They want the best of what's available. Unfortunately, what happens is that they aren't worth the best. Like, they don't offer the equivalent, and that's the problem that they're running into.
And to support what you're saying, if you actually do some research, the statistics say that 12% of the men in the world population are screwing 85% of the women. So a majority of the men are not even getting any traction from women because they're not representing themselves as real men. So Brandy and Miss Parker, let me ask you this, because y'all the women on the panel, and then I'm gonna throw the Grandtastic. What does the modern woman want? Truly, what does she want from her man?
That's a good ass question.
So let me tackle what he said first.
Okay, go ahead, and then answer. Yep, go ahead.
So I want to speak from the fact that I'm raising a son, and when I have to look at the pool of women who's raising daughters, I would have to say that it will be hard for my son to find a virtuous wife in this generation. I am scared for him, because although we look at men as not shit, the women have come up on survival. They are now the new not shit people too.
Keep it on to the streets.
So I don't disagree that men aren't shit, but I have to put the women up there on that same platform, because they have came up. They have multiplied the ain't shit.
Team up.
So for the record, I did say that 95% of all people ain't shit, but we're on the same page. We're on the same page here.
No, we are. Yes, we are.
Humanity ain't shit.
Humanity ain't shit. I like that. JB, get that on the shirt. You
Yeah,
ran it in your
no.
shirt.
We're gonna take that. That's gonna
Okay.
be on our shirt. Go ahead, Brandy.
Yeah, that's good. And then going back even to the stat that you just said, Randy, what you say, 12% of men are scoring 85% women, or whatever you
Yes.
said.
Yeah.
So then I have to look back at this. If it's not rape, what's wrong with why are the women being that vulnerable to open their legs to these men so often like this, without requiring them to be dated, courted, or be in a relationship? So we can't always put that whole. You need a different thing. But
That's my favorite one. I got a bunch of them, but go ahead.
you know what I mean? Like, and the reason I bring that back to the women is because, again, I'm raising a son. So I not only have to look at me being a woman looking for a man, a husband, I have to think about the type of wife that my son is finna have to try to find in this generation. So that's the standpoint I come from when, I'm speaking on that. But go back to your question, Randy. Can you answer that again? Because I forgot what you
said. Oh, man. Wow.
That is different when you put it in that perspective, though.
It is.
No, because as an educator, and I'm kind of, you look over the classroom, and like once upon a time, I remember on our honor roll where it would be like probably 85% of the ladies and then like 50% of gentlemen to be honor roll. And that was kind of everyone's expectation because they always want the boys to play sports and all that stuff. That's changing now.
It
like
is.
A lot of things, like when you guys, I need people to step in the school hall, in the schoolhouse, whatever you want to call it. Things are changing now with these children and how they are conducting themselves.
Yeah,
it really, and it's not a pretty sight, especially. And I can see from you if you're trying to raise a respectable young man to be accountable, to be responsible, and then you and I've looked on Instagram with like real people that I know, and moms are twerking at their like 7-year-old daughter's birthday parties with them.
I'm raising my son to be respectful, and women raising their daughters to be thoughts. Like, that's not fair. That's not fair for my son. And we can't ignore that fact. And I get that, men ain't shit. Okay, I get it. I'm not,
But it's like, what happens when you ain't shit? When you are something.
Yeah, I mean, men have been men since the beginning of time. Social
media caters to our weaknesses.
Yeah.
Period. And it's meant to. It is meant to keep us apart. It is the modern day Willie Lynch, where we are separate from our people. You know what I mean? If you think about it in that aspect, I think that when you look at social media, because that is right now almost like the end all and be all, which is ridiculous. Everybody deeply inside wants a connection with somebody else. They want everything that we sat here and just said on a 1,000% level. But if everybody thinks that everybody is playing a game, then you're going to be a part of the game. And so when you come for somebody, or you see the best of somebody, it doesn't necessarily mean that person sees the best in themselves. So you're not going to get what the hell you came for. You're going to get their ego. You're going to get their fear. You're going to get the Instagram. You're going to get all of that, and you're not getting who you really are supposed to get, and they're not going to let you see that because they're afraid.
And the problem is we're raising kids on that, like from the beginning. At least with our generation, we had a point in time where it didn't exist.
It didn't.
And we had to go through that process and it matured as we matured. Yeah. But these kids now, they're born and it's always here. Yeah. They've been on Instagram before they even knew what Instagram was.
There are other countries that ban certain social media because it is making us dumb and it's making us stupid and it's keeping us separate, and it's supposed to be us together. They don't. There's a whole documentary about it. It's like, I didn't know what I created. I meant to create this platform, but now I created this monster that caters to everybody's insecurities and vulnerabilities, and doesn't do anything to help you.
And that's the thing I want to bring up is like the fact that people are dating the ideology of the person instead of the actual person. They're dating the idea that you're marriage material instead of actually dating you. as a person. And because we've been taught relationships wrong because of Disney and Hollywood, we want this freaking Cinderella story and freaking Beauty and the Beast and all this Aladdin. Like a couple episodes ago, we talked about the Aladdin relationship, how this nigga was the biggest capper in the whole kingdom.
You talked about
but he pulled the princess. Why? Because she had everything in the world, but she was never satisfied.
She wanted what?
So she got deceived by the biggest capper in the whole freaking kingdom. But my question to the ladies was this: what do modern women really want from men?
What these women want from a nigga?
What these want from a nigga? Somebody let me know.
R.I.P.
What y'all want from a nigga?
I don't think they know.
They don't know.
Miss Parker, slide over a little bit so the camera can catch you. There you go. Miss Parker, Brandy, what do y'all want in a man? I'm letting y'all know right now on social media, do not harass my sisters because I will come for you.
I was about to say,
and that's why I'm going to pass on answering. I hate that question.
Okay.
I feel like when men come and say that to me, I'm like, what? So you can pretend to be that? I don't like personally. I don't like answering that.
But wait, men of all generations has been programmed to have a certain behavior pattern to achieve a woman.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You don't like that?
I don't like that.
Okay, Miss Parker.
I feel like that's why the representative is here, because I'm told this is what a real man is. So I'm a try to be this real man, even if I'm not a real man. I'm gonna just do what I'm told I'm supposed to do.
So if the woman, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then when I get the woman that I'm faking to be the real man too, she hit the fan. Because I gave her the representative.
If that man has a vision of who he wants to be, isn't it the woman's responsibility to help him meet that vision?
No.
If he has a vision,
ain't no damn understanding.
Huh?
Is that the understanding?
No.
Oh, Parker said no.
If he has a vision,
yes,
I believe so. Because women were created to be helpmates.
If that's your man.
If that's your man, yeah.
If that's your man, yes.
Yeah. That's what I said.
That's not what you said.
I said
you said if a man is this, then it's a woman's responsibility to do that.
I said if a man has a vision of who he wants to be, is it the woman's responsibility to help him meet that vision?
I'm just gonna say men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Oh my God.
No, I watched this marriage video. I watched this marriage video at one point when I was engaged. And it always says that, the man will have the idea and the woman is supposed to make it better, or find a way to make that possible. So yes, I do agree with that. Mm-hmm. But if there is no action, there's no ambition, and you just saying it, I'm supposed to do everything, and you're not gonna do your part. Hell no, we're not doing that.
JB, the sloth, talk to me.
Yeah, like I'm listening to this and I'm just chuckling on the inside because, like, I don't believe it's the woman's responsibility, right? But that's just, again, this is probably this is the reason why we're a part of your panel, because we're kind of unique. I just don't believe that it's anyone's responsibility but your own to create your own happiness.
Absolutely. We're not talking about happiness though. We're not talking about happiness.
I know, but just
we're talking about a vision and a goal.
Yeah, again, but that vision, that goal is it's so you can eventually become happy, right? I mean, that's still the end game. The end game is for you to live whatever your truth is and whatever that prosperous life is, right? So if I have that vision, if I have a goal, and to your point, if I'm bringing someone into that world, right, you would hope that they can add to that, to whatever you're building, right? But at the end of the day, I'm going to get to my goal regardless. Whether you're on board or not. And that's just my own personal belief.
But that wasn't the question though. So the thing is, we're supposed to be talking about a partnership.
Yeah.
So if you're entering a partnership with somebody, it is your responsibility to help them. And whatever it is that they need help in, you're agreeing to enter this partnership. And I feel like that's why a lot of relationships are failing, because they do have that mindset. Well, yeah, we together, but I mean, that's yours. Like, you need to try to figure that out on your own. I ain't really got to help you if I don't want to help you. Like, why are you in this partnership with this person
So
then?
great.
I mean, help comes to in a certain extent, though, in my opinion.
With boundaries, yes.
Yes.
But it
Yes,
has
it
to
has
happen
to.
though. It
You're
has
not
to
supposed to
happen.
be raising somebody else or, bringing somebody somewhere. You're supposed to be the motivation. You're supposed to, you know, give some words of encouragement or be there or support, but you're not supposed to drag somebody along
No, I
So
definitely.
Well, Randy said
whatsoever.
Randy said the man came with a vision though. So we're talking
yeah.
about a man that comes with
A lot
something.
of people be busy.
We're not talking about men that just, man, I don't know what I want to do. Can you help me? We're not talking about those type of men. We're talking about a man that actually has goals and a vision and
Yeah.
knows where he wants to go. With or without you, he's going. But if
Okay.
you are his woman, when you decide to get with him, yes, you have a responsibility to
Like a
contribute
long-term
to him.
relationship we're talking.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, not just like first meet. We're kind of talking about a
yeah,
little bit
yeah.
more into it. Like, yeah, you don't meet someone and be like, yo, what's your goal? Let me help you do that.
Oh no, definitely not. No.
Yeah, it's a little bit long. Go ahead, Brandy. Go ahead.
I was pretty much, so this is why I think like that, because me now as a woman, knowing who I am, knowing that I have helped me traits, knowing that I am the purpose pusher, I do this with my male friends. They got brands, I push them. Whatever they need help with. Okay, you've been working all day on what? You hungry? Have you ate? You ain't ate? Let me run you some food. I do that just on my male friendships. So why wouldn't I do that with a man that I'm actually finna build a life with?
Mm.
But I
It's,
see
yeah.
you do that because you're a good person. I don't think that's your responsibility. That's my point.
Mm.
Mm.
That's your what it sounds like. That's your nature. Like you're a really kindred soul. Like you're a
You
good person.
so
So
you
you
should
you want to help people because that brings you gratitude.
if you are wanting to be in a relationship, you should have that though. What's the point of being in a relationship and you don't have that natural instinct to help whoever you're in a
So
relationship
so
with
let,
though?
let's so can we use a real life example? So and this is a practical example, and I think a lot of us know this or could even be a part of it, right? Women, men, both go to school, get their education, go to college, so forth, right? Now they have student debt. I was able to get a scholarship. I don't have any debt. You went on, you got your master's, you have substantial debt. So now you got $60,000, $70,000 under your name in student loans, right? Is that my responsibility? If we're together now, is that my responsibility?
Long term or marriage?
We can do both. We can do enter in a relationship. We can do a lot of people do enter. I guess you want to call it a partnership. They enter partnerships where they just don't get married, but they've been together for 2 or 3 years, right? Or you have the actual full blown marriage, which is a whole nother set of it. So we can do both.
Brandy, go ahead. Go ahead.
So as it relates to if you are building something long term, married or not married, if you're getting to the point where you're building some long term, you're trying to get a house together, you're trying to get cars together, run a business together, that debt that person has is going to stop you guys from getting to your long term goals. So at that point, I would think that it is your responsibility if you are deciding to do life with this person, because you can either say, okay, that ain't my responsibility. I don't care. That's your debt. You deal with that. But then guess what that's going to do to the relationship? That's going to keep y'all stagnant. Y'all not going to get that house. Y'all not going to get that car. You're not going to run that business or whatever loan you're trying to get. You're not going to get that because the person you're with got this long term debt that you feel is not your responsibility to help them get it down.
But to your point, or the point that you're making, again, that is I disagree with that. Like that is not my responsibility. To your point, us building together, I know that that's your debt, right? But if
Yeah.
we're getting a house, we're getting a mortgage, X amount is what we need to get this. You have to contribute to this, right? You still got to pay for your loans, and how you pay for your loans is how you're going to pay for the loans. So I agree that I think I would not agree, but I would attempt to help the person. But at the end of the day, that is not my responsibility.
That's
I
all
want
I'm
to make that
saying.
very clear.
Attempt to help, though. Attempt to help. When I say responsibility, I'm not saying, oh, this is life or death responsibility. When I say responsibility, I mean you are willingly want to, because you love this person, because you guys are building together. You are willingly taking on the responsibility. Not that, well, y'all together, you just got to take it on. I'm not saying you got to take on anything. But I'm saying if you guys are building, there should be a willingness in you to help them get to the point where y'all can get the house if their debt is affecting it.
So, Brandon, are you talking about like making payments or kind of like strategies on how to attack this?
Is that a character?
Strategies.
Because JB he be out.
Yo, JB, did you hear what Miss Parker just said?
Parker got smoked.
I got smoked tonight.
JB say he been out.
90 seconds.
Right, that's true. So we had a discussion. I don't even know why we having a discussion because you would have been left anyway. So
exactly.
Explain this to you. I'm talking to the wrong person. Next question.
I'm starting to feel a theme here.
I'm talking to the wrong person. I forgot. Thank you, Miss Parker. You thank you. I forgot.
Oh, we got a team up, huh? We got Splash Brothers here.
Listen,
understand what you said.
Listen,
said.
I know we went over time. I definitely want to have
60 seconds.
Don't worry about her. I run my own platform. I definitely want to have this discussion. I want to have a part 2 to this discussion. So I'm gonna hit everyone up on a private, see when we can do this again. We went 29 minutes, 30 minutes over time, which I'm cool with, but I definitely want to have a part 2 to this conversation because I feel like you guys are starting to get into the juice of the whole discussion point at this moment. And I'm going to cut it at this high because I want the audience to expect more. You feel me? So listen, this is what I want to do. I want everyone to go around, say what they have going on, promote what they have going on, give your social media handles if you want people to follow you, and then we're going to close out the show. So we're going to start with Brandy, JB, Miss Parker, Grandtastic, myself. Go ahead.
So I am Brandy, CEO of Conquering Relationships. I'm a life coach, certified life and relationship coach / motivational speaker. So you can follow Conquering Relationships on all platforms. I'm more so on Facebook right now and YouTube live videos and TikTok than Instagram, but I'm working them all. You can book life coaching sessions through my links as well if you want to, get into my mind a little bit more outside of this show. I do have a relationship workbook that's in the works. I have some more type books coming up. For those that are in the 618-314 area, I do have a event in January, and it's called "Are You an Asset or a Liability?"
Their liability.
Oh man, the Slav has spoken.
Right.
But please get it to support. But yeah, their liability. That was easy to answer.
But men and women are going to be there though. So which one is the liability?
They're both liabilities.
They both are. Okay, gotcha.
JB, what you got going on?
Yeah, you know what? I'm a real simple individual. You
definitely joined the Key Radio Network, but go ahead.
maybe the podcast will come back. Maybe it won't.
Please
I don't know.
Yo, real
so
talk.
the podcast is JB versus Everybody. Again, on all platforms. You want to check out the website, jbversuseverybody.com.
Wait, JB.
Yes.
I want to give you this shout out. So before Clubhouse went completely public, JB was the one who connected me to Clubhouse. When it was in its beta phase, before it went to the public, JB hit me up like, yo, join this platform with me. I'm going to send you the invite. This was, I'm talking like, man, we talking months and months and months before it went public. And we was having some good conversations in that freaking Clubhouse joint.
Yeah, before it got toxic.
Facts. But I want to give you that shout out because I appreciate you looking out for me like that. But go ahead.
All good, my brother. Yeah, and like I said, maybe we'll get the podcast. I'm thinking about rebranding. So we'll see what happens. But of course, when it's all set up, it'll be launched on the JB versus Everybody website.
Cool. Miss Parker.
I guess I can call myself
a person of the people. You can find me on Tiana_Ayana_Parker. My page is private, so I will have to accept you. But like
so
I
all
said,
you creeps, you can't get in. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Damn, I was just doing
But
that.
I have I have the pleasure of serving people in my day to day, what I do in politics.
Yes.
And I thoroughly enjoy it. I love to fight for the people, the little people, the big people, any kind of people. My boss calls me Tiana Pope. So if you have a problem that needs solving, come holler at your girl.
And we've definitely crossed paths a few times working for the people, trying to get some real stuff done. So
and that's what we do.
Yeah, that's what we do. Fantastic.
Well, everyone, you already know what time it is. This is the professor. I'll be teaching these children in these streets, but I also will be in a web series. It's called The Story of Our Lives, written by Derek Lewis Gray out of Baltimore. It will be out in January, February, so make sure to go peep that. I have 15 seconds of fame, so I did my 4 lines very well. So my 4 lines very, very well. I think I was very convincing of stomping a nigga out. So anyway, go check that out, everyone. Don't stop that nigga out. Once I get more details, we're gonna have that. We're also gonna have a watch party in February. The theme is 15 seconds of fame because I think that's as much time I got. So we're going to get there. We're going to celebrate that. That was a pretty awesome experience. We're going to get some more credits and director credits as well. So we're going to be on and popping with that.
Nice. Y'all know who it is, man. It's your boy Randy Choo, aka Mr. Slap, your great grandma. As you can see, it's on the cup. Chew Radio Cup, Mr. Smack, your great grandma. I smack grandmothers, y'all. Just want to let everyone know that. Listen, I appreciate my panel tonight. This was an amazing discussion. I knew they were going to bring it. We're definitely going to have to do a part 2. Listen, y'all got an audience. Y'all got to help me bribe them into joining the network. They can keep their own platforms, but just bring it over here. Keep your stuff. But just bring it to True Radio Network, please.
We gotta convince JB.
We got it. We
podcast.
We gotta strangle this nigga or something.
He
left sloth has to come back.
He left us with his
I know.
rating system.
I know, right,
bro? Well, I mean, listen, I gotta give you the rating system where you had 10 as your defense. I mean, beautiful.
But no, I respect JB. I respect.
I'm a real fan, sir. If you didn't know by now, I'm a real fan.
I respect JB. I respect Brandy. I respect their platforms. Miss Parker, I respect what she's doing, and her job helps me do my job in the community, in the streets. And we've partnered together on several events and things, just trying to help locally some things that's going on. Anyway, it's your boy Randy Choo, aka Mr. Choo-On-That. We will see you guys next Monday. And as I like to say, you can love it, you can hate it, but you definitely need to chew on that. We will see you guys next Monday. Deuces!